Well, hello. We've made it. We've made it. How's this thing look? Not sure if the chat thing works. We'll see. We out here. This is accurate. This is accurate. Not sure if the chat thing works. Seems like the answer is the chat does not work. Oh, there it goes. Okay, well, you know, making it happen. Hi, everyone. What's up, Samir? Hello, Destroyer. Welcome to a vibe. Where do I go? Here? Yeah, here, because the camera got rotated. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. And how's this treating you? This is all cool new stuff. All cool new stuff. It's nice and is pretty the word? I guess pretty is the word. I like it. It's funky. On phone, so it's doing great. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Boy, this chat feature that I've added, this little widget is garbage. Oh well. I'll fix it eventually. I think the background getting 80s hair metal vibe, that's the goal. That's the goal. The goal is to be slightly 80s, slightly 90s. We had Indian food. I'm like burping up a storm, but it's okay. That is okay. How's everyone doing? How's work, Samir? Destroyer, what's going on? Anyone else? How's life treating y'all? I hope it's going well. I am a little like 2 years 80s is what they say. So, you know, it works. Man, that I'm looking at the real time of this like chat thing that I've installed just to like try it, and like boy howdy, it is not nearly what I was hoping for. Oh well. It's all good over here. Like to hear that, Destroyer. Like to hear that. Works great. Work's going all right. Did a big boy and asked for a pay raise. I'm currently stressed. Oh, don't be stressed. The worst thing they can say is no. That's just literally that's the worst thing they can say. No. Like what are they gonna do? They're not gonna let you go over asking for more money. That's absurd. And if they did, then like they're screwed. So, you know, 'tis what it is. 'Tis what it is. Contractors, they could say well, I mean, yes, they could. Technically they can do that with any full-time employee. Technically. So they're not gonna do that. There are other recruitment agencies, so that's true. You will. This is accurate. Oh, let's see what this looks like. We're kind of experimenting on the fly here. We're experimenting on the fly to see what happens vis-a-vis this. Oh, okay, it scrolls it up. Nice. Not sure why everyone's name is black, but you know, it's a learning experience. Whatever, we'll figure it out. Yeah. What else? Oh, let's see some of the other cool scenes that I have. So you saw the start one. This is the start. Start mode. Yay. You've got me talking here. Dark mode for the win. Exactly. Very good. The ending scene looks like this. Look at that one. Oh, I like that one. I like that. And if we're back to me, BRB is pretty okay. I like the little subtle animations and the contrast and the be right back. I do like that a lot. It's back to me again. What else we got? Oh, this one's fun. This is when I'm playing a game. This is the animation for me playing a game. Boom. If there was something plugged into like the Elgato, then like this, it would be showing up here. But it's not. So there's nothing plugged in. It's almost like I deal with the graphics and layouts and it's almost like that. Yeah. It's like a little bit like that. It's going to be really cool if somebody subscribes, because then there's this little thing right here and like a thing pops up saying like, hey, subscribe. It's pretty cool. Oh, and this is the if we're watching something on the computer together as a family, then this happens. And there you go. Again, just looking real tight. Me over here, just like by myself, got this thing. This is the computer screen. Oh, I love it. I love it. Actually, I do want to show this off. So Samir knows about this, but I've been working on a fun little side project. Boy, it really blows my face out. That's fine. And we're going to check it out together as a family. Boop. So yeah, this is, you can go to this site right now, by the way. This is uke.io. Look at me. This 101 best games of all time, this is 100% not my list, but it does exist and you can click on it because, you know, it's there. And as you scroll, hey, look at that. There's a list. Now, it's not dark mode. I am working on changing the graphics of this stuff down here. This is kind of a, what's it called? This is kind of a prototype that I whipped up in a couple hours. I've done a little bit of extra work on it, but not really a whole lot. I think I put in like a half hour today just for fun. The one things I did is I fixed the sticky header, so the header does stay up there now. It's still not dark. I hate how bright this is, but you know, it is what it is. Actually, you know what? It's not what it is. I can change that. Maybe we'll change that together. That'd be fun. Anyway, long story short is I have it now where you can scroll through, blah, 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 blah. There's 101 games. There's actually 101 games on here. That's something else that Samir called me out on. Samir was like, I can't believe you didn't put 101 games on this. I scraped it from the top 100 games on some website, whatever. Everyone get over it. You can now check your results. It'll show you, hey, you own X%, you've played X%, and you have beaten X%. That's all it does right now. The goal of this long term is to be able to, I can update it based on a database that I change on like a pretty regular. I can just go and say like, hey, my favorite game is this, and then the second favorite game is this, and blah blah blah. And then anyone can come here and check how they stack up against my, you know, views, what I think and stuff. Did I merge the played and beaten? I did not, because I do not think that played and beaten are the same thing. I do think there's a difference between playing something and actually sitting down and beating it. So no. And also Tanner asked why I even had owned on there, because he was like, how many people actually own these games anymore? I was like, really good point. But I want to know how many people actually own these games, or I think it would be interesting to see how many of these games people actually own, digitally or otherwise. Oh no, I didn't fix that part. No, I did not fix that. Again, I did very, very little to it so far. So anyway, point being, it's still there. Sorry I didn't get to your feedback yet, Samir. I apologize. Tisk, shut up. But you can see like, hey, you own X%. Let's just say that I own MGS5. I've played it and I've beaten it. And I've got these and this, right? So on the fly, it calculates. It is literally calculating that as this thing is being rendered, by the way, which is really, really stinking cool. So like, it's actually going through and saying like, hey, you've beaten, you know, 1 out of 101. That's 0.9%, 0.99%. You know what we should do actually? Fancy math. It's really not that fancy actually. You know what? Here, I'm gonna show you the code. Let me show you the code because it is actually kind of cool. Where's that at? It's an app. Bump. It's really, really simple. The problem is this is all still one giant file, and like I need to split it up, but I haven't yet. Yeah, so literally all I'm doing is as you go through, I'm programmatically mapping out all of the rows. Can y'all see that? That looks really tiny. Close that. And close that. Yeah. So I'm programmatically pretty gibberish. Yeah. This line's really important. So what this is doing is this is the data. Right? So this is just the data. That's this file. Just a JSON file, right? And what I'm doing is I'm importing it here. I'm just saying, hey, give me this data from top100games.json. That's it. And then what I'm doing is programmatically going through and saying, all right, for all of the data, all of those lines, map out every row. Approximately what percentage of this code is actually mine? The vast majority. I'm importing. So these are from a library that I use called Material UI. And obviously React is not mine because it's React. But the logo, so the logo I found, that's just an image, but I wrote all of this, or I'm importing all that. I wrote all of that. I wrote these functions here. Like, I created this app. I would say like 90% is mine. I scraped this data. This is not my data, but I scraped it off of the internet, so I had to do that. So I did use, just so we're on the same page, I did use Create React App because it's I build in React, and it's way easier to just do that than to have to like hand write a React application. That's absurd. So you can just go into, how do I open that? I've always done tilde. Tilde, there it is. The big brain. Yeah, I mean, you can go in and just do npx, create React app, and make whatever you want. Y'all can't see that, but it's there, I promise. Yeah, that. You can just use this command. If you install npm, which is a oh, what's it called? Package manager. Node package manager. If you install Node and then npm, you can just use npx and do create React app, and then you have access to all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. Anyway, long story short is this app kind of sucks currently. The way I'm mapping this stuff out, again, this was just proof of concept stuff, is not pretty. It is not, it is bare minimum. Bare minimum. When we say minimum viable product in the industry, this is it. I'm still learning baby's first code in Python. I'm nowhere near importing in databases. Again, I'm not importing a database. I'm just importing. I get your point though. I get your point. Also, this is my job, so you know, it's the stuff I know how to do pretty well. Anyway, MVP. Let's do this together. Let's just go through this together, because this will be fun. Just to show you exactly what I'm working on with this and why I think it's cool. Samir had a really good idea, by the way. Samir had an idea of, so if you can't tell, I have owned, played, and beaten. Okay. So owned is obviously like I owned this game. I'm going to put a little clarification thing up here at some point, but for the time being, I own this game. I have played this game. I have beaten this game. Samir's suggestion was, well, hey, if you've beaten this game, you've obviously played it, so you should just go ahead, and when you click on beaten, it should also go ahead and click on played, which totally makes sense, actually. So, you know what? Actually, we can change that right now. Handle owns change, handle beaten change. Handle beaten change. Go to the definition. Beaten, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I have to add to that, don't I? Beans. That should be fine. We can do var of played list equals spread on played. This is what I do all the day, by the way. And then the beaten list, played list is, and the reason I'm doing this, by the way, is because I'm gonna get really nerdy here for a second. Actually, this is really cool. Looks more fun than what I do. It is until it isn't. Just so we're clear, it is until it isn't. The reason I'm doing this, by the way, instead of just referencing, because beaten is a variable right here. Beaten is just like an array. You can see right here, I'm declaring that this is just an array. The reason that I'm making a copy of it here is because I don't want to mutate the actual array that exists. I want to mutate the copy and then put the copy into the original, if that makes sense. So there we go. Boom, 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 boom. If event.target is checked. Yep. I forget what this is doing. This is why you should comment your stuff, by the way, guys. I forget why I'm doing this. I'm adding it here. I'm removing it here. That's what I'm doing. I'm removing it. So let me... let J equals play.index of event.target.name. So what that's doing is that's finding the value in the array that I've just clicked, and then it's removing it from that array. Makes sense. So played list dot splice of J and 1. So that's removing just a single variable, the single value. Set beaten, set played. Is that gonna check that actually? I'm not sure that will check that. Yeah, it's not, because checked is determined on row.beaten, not necessarily row.played. Can I do an OR here? Would that work? Let's try it. Worst case scenario is it breaks everything. npm start. You have to do run start. This will be fun. This is fun. I didn't even anticipate doing this, but this is actually kind of cool. All right, and it's running, and it's running, and it's running. On that spot, no, not necessarily. The reason it wouldn't work is because this value here is checking to see, hey, show me if this thing is checked based on the value of played for the specific row. So this actually is a conditional. So an if then is what's known as a conditional, Samir. And so technically this right here, this double vertical lines is a conditional. It's saying, hey, check this based on row.played or row.beaten. The thing that I need to be tricky, or I need to like actually verify this will work, is if this will cause any conflicts. So I'm running, this is the local version. You can see a local host up here. So what I want to be able to do is this should still work. Yep. Played should still work. Yep. Let's go to the bottom. Actually, we can still verify if that's actually changing stuff. So I have nothing checked. Should be zeros all across. Perfect. Owned should be 0.99. Perfect. Back to 0. Perfect. Played should be 0.99. Perfect. Unchecked. 0. Perfect. Now beaten, if I click on beaten, it should check. I think it should check both. No. Okay, so that won't work there. But it is registering both. So it is, you can see, because I only have one thing checked, but it's registering both of them. So the played values are correct. But if I click off of that, it should, yeah, go back to normal. Okay, so then what we need to figure out is how do we set checked? So I have to fix the UI. I have to fix this thing right here specifically. I have to check. Checked has to be based on. What would have to be? What would have to be based on actually? Row.played, row.beaten. Row data map. What is data defined? There. Got it. Boom, ding, boom, ding. I have to change the way that checked is set to be based on more than one thing, essentially. I have to row.played. So essentially, this checked thing is just basically determining when this checkbox is actually checked or not. So if we go back over here, this is just changing that to be yes. If that makes sense. So handle played's change is fine. Owned is fine. This is all redundant. Like all this stuff here. The one thing you want to try and do whenever you're developing something is to try and be dry, which is don't repeat yourself. So at the moment, this is not ideal, but it is what it is. No, oh, that's fine. We're adding to the played list. You're vaguely following, doing your best. You're doing a good job, actually. The fact that you're tracking exactly, like, this is pretty like, this isn't super complex stuff, but it's more than beginner stuff, I should say. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's referencing the event, isn't it? The values are correct. The values that are getting added into the arrays are correct. This checked is not. Let me look that up, actually. Hold on. Uno momento. Uno momento. I'll deal with enough command line and PowerShell to at least know what the commands are supposed to do. Writing them on my own is a different beast. It is definitely a different beast. It for sure is. So let's see here. This is the most important part of my job, by the way, is looking stuff up. Let's see here. This is material UI checkbox. Checked. Multiple values. Multiple checkboxes value with material UI. Okay, we like that. You get multiple checkboxes. Bum, bum. Oh, it's getting is checked. Interesting. Oh, that's old. That's very old. Show UI checkbox. We'll look up the actual. Look up the actual documentation on it. There we go. Here's the documentation, by the way. So we have basics, we have the labels, we can change the color, we can make it an icon, we can have it being controlled. This was closest to the one that I'm doing. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that's checked. So I would need to change the way that I'm handling if something is checked or not, which is annoying. Got it. These are overrides, eh? Yeah. Default checked. Yeah, checked is its own thing. Boom, 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 boom. They're suggesting a radio button, aren't they? Checkboxes versus switches. Let me check about the radio, actually. Let me check a radio. Yeah. I really need a group. Boom, 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 boom. Standalones, on change. Okay, so essentially I would have to... What I gathered very briefly is I would have to make another array that is based on... that is capturing which values are checked. Oh, those aren't even values. Actually, let's do this. Let's go. Control Shift L. Over, down. This is a really cool thing, by the way. This is letting me do all of this at once. On every single line. Or every single object within this, every single object within this array of objects. Owned is false. Played. False. Beaten. False. Boop, 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 boop. So that should have put owned, played, and beaten in all of those. Yep. The problem is I would then need to change the data as those change. So if I go back to it, yeah. Almost all of them. Oh, got all of them. Got all of them. I'm not running canned code, sorta. You could if you wanted. Let's see how this looks. This should be, yeah. Oh, it still works. Ooh, wait a minute. Did we actually fix it? No. I don't know what she made it's ideal to put on it. True. True. Very, very true. You know what? Let's just go ahead and scrap these changes I've made, and we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Let me revert those changes. Thank you. That one's fine. And I'll revert those as well. Gotta love the phone keyboard. True. Ace, hi, by the way. Welcome. This is my cool list that I've been working on just for funsies. And by working on, I mean I've put like, I don't know, an hour and a half into it. It's fine. It's fine. The actual live version, by the way, if you wanted to go to it, is at uke.io. You're welcome to try it out. It's kind of crappy on phones at the moment as well. I will put that out there as well. So, and also not my list. I scraped this data from somewhere else, so the list is real whack and kind of garbage. Again, just want to make sure we're clear. Pretty bad. Let's go through it together. This will be fun. Results is 0, 0. This should be great, and then great, and then great. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. The cat lady is good. I'm sure it is. I'm not saying it isn't, but I've heard of it, but that's about it. I'll say that. Let's get through this. Persona 5 Royal. Now here's the problem. I have played Persona 5. I have not played Persona 5 Royal. And I definitely don't own it. So I'm going to leave that one blank. I also don't own Cat Lady, and I've not played it or beaten it. Now, I have played Elden Ring, but I don't own it and I haven't beaten it. So, there you go. Same thing with Disco Elysium. None of it. There is. Unfortunately, there is. It's very weird. And I think both of them are on here. Yeah, they're both on here. Again, didn't make this list. This is just, I scraped the data. So, oh, and by the way, if you want to know what any of these games are, you can click and it'll take you to the IGDB page showing you all the things about it and why it is up there. This game has 85. Yeah, there's 89 people have ranked this game, which is why it's at a 97. That's all I'm gonna say. Looks sick. It's fine. It functions. I mean, that's the thing that the main thing I was telling people earlier is I'm trying to just build something that's functional first, get them a minimum viable product out there, and then we'll go from there. Disco Elysium, do not own it, haven't played it, have not beaten it for sure. Persona 4 Golden, I do own it, I have played it, I have not beaten it. Witcher 3, but same again. God of War, ooh, I 100%ed that game. Last of Us there's The Last of Us on there? Okay, I don't own the remastered version. I have played it though. Chrono Trigger, obviously. Last of Us. I'm in the process of playing this again right now. I'm just gonna leave beaten off, just because like I know what happens, but I wasn't the one who actually beat it the first time that I saw what happened, so I'll leave that off for the time being. Obviously. Don't think I beat this game. I don't think I beat this game. Let's move on. 100% of that game, you get, of course. Yeah, duh. But one of my favorite. If this was my actual list, this would be like top 5. This game is amazing. Metroid Prime, of course. I do own those, yeah. Okay, yes, I do. Hades, haven't beaten it yet. Have not beaten it yet. I do own it. I have not played this one yet. Same thing here. Midgar. Technically, yes. What's up, Absolute? Technically, yes, I have. The problem with Snake Eater versus Subsistence is that Subsistence is the one you really want to play because the control scheme in this one is like significantly better, or the camera is. But like, my goodness, we'll just say yes on that one. Technically, I've beaten it, so whatever. Of course. Absolutely. This is my site that I've been working on. It's called uke.io. You can check it out if you want and do this cool rating thing yourself. You don't have to, but you can. It's pretty fun. It technically works right now. You know? It was good until I realized my sofa was infested with ants. That is my nightmare. That is my nightmare. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Not ideal. Last of Us 2. I own it. I've played it. I've not beaten it. Oh, you know it. Oh, you know it. Oh, you know it. Did I beat this one? I'm not sure I beat this one. It's been good? Okay, good. The problem with me having a lot of games, by the way, everybody, is that I forget what games I've actually beaten. So I had the stream minimized and couldn't figure out how to get the keyboard back without closing the stream again. I'm a little ashamed because of my... Well, at the very least, Samir, you didn't, like, blame IT for you not understanding how it works. So that's at least a positive. Owned it, played it. I have not beaten it yet. Owned it, have played it. I've been watching scuffed FNAF security breach runs. That's pretty awesome. Absolutely. That's actually pretty awesome. Silent Hill 2. I don't think I own this game. I've definitely played it. Do I own this game? Hold on. Again, the issue is I have too many games. All games. Search. Silent Hill. Nope. Yes, I do. In the HD collection. So no, I don't. Because that's not the same game. That is a much, much, much worse version. I'll count it. That's fine. He's out here gaming. I'm talking games, Dylan. Also, welcome to Uke.io up here, baby. Such as the Giga Morty run where every enemy is a full aggro Monty. Holy crap. You did it again? Guys, Samir doesn't actually understand technology. We need to put some F's in chat for Samir and his inability to actually use technology, even though he is, in fact, you know, in IT. So, sorry, Samir. Don't tell my boss I'm a fraud. We're all frauds. Mass Effect 2, of course. Who doesn't beat y'all? Y'all, this is the thing that's going to absolutely kill me. Just so we're on the same page, when this thing is finished, I am going to be collecting the data on like what people are submitting in this thing because I find it interesting. But like, y'all gotta play Mass Effect 2. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't be out here buying like a lawnmower sim, Samir, and then not have played Mass Effect 2. That's crazy talk. Of course I've beaten Ocarina of Time 3D. Play Security Breach. I'm too busy playing Destiny. Garrus has your heart? Of course he does. Of course he does. As long as you only sell the data to the Scandinavian countries. I will sell the data to whoever asks for it, which will be nobody because nobody wants it. It came with another game. That's true. I have played Nier Automata. I've not beaten it. The OG KOTOR, I think I've beaten. Do I own it? I promise it's not a buggy, glitchy mess. I feel like I don't believe you, Obsolete. I feel like it actually might be. Do I own the original KOTOR? Hold on. I for sure have it on... I have the disc for the original one on PC, but I'm not sure I actually own that game. You shouldn't, it totally is. Okay, cool. I knew it. Okay, I've definitely played it. Again, I'm not 100% sure if I've beaten it. I think I watched a friend of mine beat it. I own the second game. I own the second PC version. A PC disc? Yeah, Dylan, how do you think we got games back in the day? Steam didn't exist. Steam came out in 2007. Think about that. Steam came out in 2007. Okay? For years before that, we had to just rely on like actual discs. I regret purchasing a PS4. I should have waited till it came on the Xbox Series S. Old Dylan. Dylan. That's rude. Day of the Tentacle. Hurtful. Owned it and played it, have not beaten it. Halfway. Okay, again. Guys. You gotta. Yeah, the League of Legends disc version? Ace. The true champion. The true champion. Not only do I have a very toxic game, but I have its original version. Dylan's the odd you that. I think Dylan actually might be on the same page with the majority of people, unfortunately. At this point. Half-Life's the true classic. Half-Life, so I recently beat Half-Life again. Half-Life is still really good, like if you consider when it first came out, but like, ooh, it's really kind of hard for me to recommend that game to like a lot of gamers at this point, because I just don't think that it holds up in the conveyance department a lot, actually. It's really, 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 really good. It came out in 1998. It is absolutely crazy that it is as modern as it is, and it came out the same year as like, it came out a year before Ape Escape. I'll put in context. It came out 2 years before Majora's Mask, and it's still really great. I've completed Command and Conquer collection on disc with some of the pack. Ooh, very nice. I actually have disc PC games that just want to call me old. Okay, that's fair. That said, that's the only game that I remember playing like that. See, when I first got into like PC gaming, I went out and I got some money for my birthday. I think I was 16 or 17. And I went out, and my parents finally had like a somewhat decent computer, and my dad wasn't using it all the dang time. So I went out and bought like gaming peripherals. I bought my like original like big huge keyboard. I'm just going to find the image of it. It's hysterical. And it was just, oh, there it is, baby. This is the keyboard I was playing on back in the day. Oh yeah, I still own this bad boy. Let's go. Open image in a new tab. Yes, sir. That's the one I still have. I still have this. Will you be checking out Callisto Protocol when it comes out? Probably. The game looks pretty awesome. This is my first gamer keyboard. It is awesome. It is awesome. The screen, listen, y'all make fun of the screen all you want. That screen worked and still works to this day. Borderlands 3 has a built-in like thing to display on like health statistics and stuff on that display. It makes no sense why they would do that, but they did. You can plug it in. I tried it. You plug it in and it showed the health display. It was so cool. It was so low res, and it was like just not useful, but it was amazing. Did you strap into your chair when you sat down as well? No, but I had a special mouse pad for my cool Logitech gamer mouse. Gunner glasses didn't exist, Dylan. Gunner glasses didn't exist. The fact that I had a gamer keyboard at all was a big deal. Bro, I'd kill to have a keyboard. You can get like any keyboard real cheap now, just not necessarily a good one. I don't own this game, but I have played it. I don't think I have Outer Wilds. No. You don't have, hold on, you don't have a keyboard at all? You had a roll-up keyboard? Like Justin, oh, what's his name? Dang it. Like Justin Long in that freaking Die Hard movie. Justin Long in that Die Hard movie is amazing. He's so stupid. Yes, it's a roll-up. I think I had one of those until we moved down here, Ace. So cool. Razer has some pretty decent intrigue. Yeah, the Razer ones are okay. They're not bad. Do you remember seeing a backlit keyboard for the first time and being ecstatic? Exactly. Purebred console Chad Omega male. Well said. Well said. Me too, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, Dylan, it's a membrane keyboard that was like, it was basically just the membrane and like a piece of it was like a PCB that was flexible. It was essentially just like a ribbon cable that they stretched out, and you could just roll it up. And in I think it was like Live Free or Die Hard, Justin Long is a hacker, and he teams up with Bruce Willis, and he has like a whole like backpack setup that he like puts down on the table and like opens up, and it's not a laptop, it's a full computer, like a PC with a screen that like rolled like like ratchets up, and he's got a rolled out keyboard, and he's like, I have to hack into the mainframe. Oh, it's me. Oh, you should get it back. Justin Long. And it is just pure cinema. It's horrible, but it's amazing. Anyway. Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, if you weren't aware, liking the stream helps me out a lot. So if you wanted to hit that little like button, that actually helps me out. So, feel free to. You don't have to. You should. You should. Outer Wilds, I don't own it. I have not played it, and I have not beaten it. Fallout 2, I definitely don't own that game. That game is ancient. I own it. I played it. I beat it. I owned it. I played it. I beat it. Here's going to be some controversy in my life, by the way. GTA San Andreas. Now I've played it. I hit that like button not because you told me to, but because you wanted to. Good. That's how I want it. That's how I want it. Absolutely. Don't ever feel pressured to, but everyone should right now. Just do it right now. I didn't get into the GTA games like at all for quite a long time. So you're gonna see someone here like, holy crap, JB, you've only played San Andreas? I've only played San Andreas for like probably 4 hours maybe total, and that was like between me and like a buddy, like passing the controller off back and forth. GTA is overrated. The problem is it's actually not. I just never got into it because like reasons. I don't know. Here's what I do know. Boom. We're only at 44. Let's go. Seriously, how do you make the keyboard come back if you swipe away on mobile? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. What do you mean? Like, let's do this together as a family. I'm gonna pull up my own stream just for you guys. The Great Uke. I found him. All right, so Samir, let's say that you're here. You know what? Come back to me. Come back to me. So you're here, right? Now, if you go home and it's down there in the bottom like that, then you just click here, and then you see how like there's that little stuff that pops up. You hit the one with the 2 arrows, and it expands the whole dang thing. I'm not 100% sure if that's what you're talking about. That's all I can think of. So, whoa, new colors. Yeah, the whole thing, Dylan, the whole thing has changed. We got a new start screen. Now you're talking about crap. Sorry. We've got a new me chatting. This chat thing right here is garbage, and I need to figure out why it's garbage. But like, it's fine. Reminds me of trying to explain Dad his phone. There you go. The chat bar is garbage. Then we've got the end screen. Here you go. Boom. End screen. Pretty cool. And then you've got the nice BRB. Back to me up here. And then if we were playing a game, it would do this. Boom. We're not playing a game. So we're going to do this. Boop. I love it. I love it. Speaking of Borderlands, pre-sequel is the most painful experience I've ever played in my sad FNAF man-child existence. Absolute. What did we tell you? We bring facts and logic. Does look a bit poopy. It is pretty poopy. Also, I didn't think pre-sequel was that bad. I had a good time with Wilhelm. That's fine. It's not that bad. I want to make sure we're clear. It's not that bad. It's just not... How do I say this? You were so unbiased and was so optimistic. We were trying to tell you it's not that you can't enjoy. Never ever will we say like, don't ever enjoy this game, but we were trying to say, hey, temper your expectations a little bit because it's essentially just like a bit of a... What's the word I'm looking for? It's just an expansion. Like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just an expansion. Okay, well, Tanner doesn't like it at all, so just ignore Tanner. Tanner hates it, so. GTA 5, I've played it. I don't own it. I've never beaten it. Horizon Zero Dawn, both of these, not beaten it yet. Monkey Island 2, don't have that. FF6, boom, 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 easy. I don't know why this is on here. This is definitely not one of the best games of all time. This is absurd. Again, not my list. I don't know how Black Mesa's on here, but okay. Samir, I'm sorry I can't help you with your tech woes. I don't really know what you're talking about here. I would replay pre-sequel before Borderlands 1. The original really didn't age well. No, I agree. And then I realized I had 0 health 90% of the time as Nisha. I literally switched to Athena just so I could drive. Yeah, you kind of... The problem that I have with a lot of Borderlands games is until you hit some of those, like, survivability skills, it's just... Normally, they're really slow and not super fun. They're kind of fun. 3 and Wonderlands were a lot of fun. 2 gets there. 2 gets there. Anyway, boom, boom, boom. Y'all need to play this game. I'm real tired of people not playing this game. Y'all gotta play this game. It's really good. I still think 1 was worth it. It's fine. You filled them out? Ace, that's great. I have no way of collecting that data yet, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. Come back later for more. And I'll actually have the data and like be able to show you a cool graph thing like, hey, here's the data I've collected. Here's what people have said. So, you know. Duh. I actually did this one recently. I had not beaten this game. I've owned it for a long time. I've played it a lot. I enjoyed it, but I had never fully beaten it. And finally I was like, I just need to beat this thing, and beat it recently. Turns out this game's still quite good. You know, like, who knew? This to me is the ideal scenario for like the GTA formula, is this game specifically. Did I finish the epilogue? I did. I killed the man that killed my paw, and I got the credits. Although all the games other than 3 felt terrible to play without slide and clamber. Yeah, the lack of the clamber really helps. So, you starting a big data company confirmed? Yes, my big data company of tracking what people are playing and them voluntarily submitting this data. I've apparently played a lot of these games, which is really good. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if I own this game anymore. I have for sure played this game. I definitely have not beaten this game. Yeah, Samir, it really cracked me up how many, or it kind of blew my mind how many people like didn't, like once you started playing as Jack Marston, so many people, like I went on, read some stuff on the internet, people were like, yeah, this game's okay, but then like I started playing with this kid's son, like I didn't really know what to do. I was like, what? Baldur's Gate 2, definitely not played that. Here's a Might and Magic 3, definitely have not played that. Boom, boom, boom. I thought that's where it ends. I know. Whatever. You still haven't played God of War? Which one? Absolutely. The new one or the original one? I thought it was pretty clear. I didn't even like have to look it up. I just like stumbled upon like the what's it called? The side mission for it. And I was like, oh, I guess it should do that. Seems interesting. The new one? Oh, it's so good. Absolute. The word I've been using for that game recently is that I have devoured that game. Absolutely inhaled that game. I stayed up way too late. It captured my attention in ways that most games have not. That game is so much fun. I've played Warcraft 3, but I do not own it, and I definitely have not beaten it. Let's see here. MGS2. Yeah. This game has the absolute craziest in-game or in-scene of any video game ever. It's worth just looking up on the internet. Just look up the crazy codex scene. It will blow your mind. This game came out in 2001. The word he uses to describe that game is poggers. True. Facts. I do say poggers for God of War 2018. That game is very good. Here's a fun one. That's for you, Dylan. I devoured that game, Rule 34 Artists. Whatever. I own it. I've played it. Pretty sure someone did the math and it's like a 60-ish% just cutscenes. Which one? 2 or 4? MGS2. MGS2 is really not that bad in terms of cutscenes. MGS4, the ending cutscene is 4 hours long. That's not a lie. There are 4 hours of cutscenes at the end of the game at MGS4. So it's probably that one that you're thinking of, Samir. Duh. Yeah, it's 4 hours of cutscenes. Yeah, 4 hours of cutscenes. Is it 4 hours? Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, not even close. Sorry, I've led you so astray. Sorry, it's 71 minutes. But I think that the problem is that is the last one, and there are a couple before that one. So, yeah, the final one is itself 71 minutes. So, hour 10. It's still a lot, yeah. Yep, beat this one on stream. Beat this one on stream. Here we go. After hard consideration, I have a verdict on the worst Halo game. Halo 3. Okay, you're wrong, and that's fine, because Halo 5 exists, but close. That was a joke. Okay, cool. You got me. Basically a long movie with some gameplay sprinkled in here and there. I mean, that's all Kojima games, to be fair. I own it and I have played it. It's obviously Halo 5. Obviously. Hey, if anyone wants to play that game, hit me up. I'm looking to get a full squad. I have a video idea that I'm convinced that Halo 5 is way better with 4 people playing through the campaign. I have nothing to back that up, but I want to see if I can like figure it out. I want to play that game with other people, with 3 other people, and actually like beat the campaign with a whole squad and see what happens. See if it's actually any more fun. You call dibs on Linda and Vale? Okay, fair enough. Y'all got to play this game too. Are you kidding me? Again, played it. Definitely have not beaten it. Of course. Has anyone beaten Skyrim? I'm not convinced that they have. I have not beaten Dark Souls 3 yet. Don't judge. Mafia. I've played it. Yeah, this is the one that I beat. I beat it once, not really worth. What, Dark Souls 3? Has anyone beaten Stardew? It's impossible. It's impossible. Okay, well we're really making it happen here. AC2. Do I own this game? I don't own this game. Oh, you beat Skyrim? Oh, that's fair. Hit you up? I will, Absolute. I will. Okay, so I've definitely played this game. I don't think I've beaten it. I don't think I own it either. Skyrim's side quests are better than the main quest. That's all Bethesda games, unfortunately. Bethesda Softworks games. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm pretty sure I own AC2. Just hold on. Pause. In the biggest twist of fate of all time, I received this game from my brother-in-law. He was getting rid of games, and he gave me and my other brother-in-law, his brother, his old games. Which was like, hey, here, y'all take these, because he didn't want to sell them because he knew that he wasn't going to get anything for them. So I picked this one because, of course, I did, because it's actually a really good game. And unfortunately, it came with this in there instead, and I don't know where the actual Dragon Age Origins disc is. So yeah. Long story short, I don't own Assassin's Creed 2. And apparently I don't own Dragon Age Origins either. Dang it. Dang it. I've played it though. It's really good. Fate is funny. It is. It is. Oh, hey, by the way, everybody, I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. If you're having a good time here, you know what actually helps me out a lot is if you hit the like button on the stream. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. If you like the stream, it helps me out. Please do that. It'd be awesome. Personal experience playing with a full squad makes the game bearable because most of the time you're messing around and actually doing... Oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see here. Boop, boop, boop. Pull that up. There we go. Yes. I don't think I beat the story on this. That's sad. I did do this. Here's another one that's going to be controversial. I think that Undertale's overrated. It's not actually, but I'm just really sick of people talking about it. It's the same thing with like any kind of fandom where I'm just like, can y'all just stop? Just like we get it. Like Megalovania is a really good song, but like chill out. Just chill out. Yeah, we get it. Rick and Morty's like really, really funny, but like, can we just chill out? Like for real. Hey, yo, that's me with Last of Us. Okay, that's fair. That's a hot take, Dylan. Like, it's really good, but like, we get it. Everyone shut up. I jump into Deep Rock Gothic for a little bit to get some more practice in. Also, it has its claws in me pretty hard. Ooh, that doesn't bode well. Y'all, how have you not played this game yet? What's wrong with you guys? Inside, I beat that on stream. I definitely played that. I definitely don't own it, and I don't think I've beaten it. Mass Effect 1. So, Yuke, will we get a Halo Infinite follow-up on cross-gen? We will. We will. It's coming out on Thursday. Dylan has worked that up. It's pretty great. So, yeah, there's going to be a cross-gen plus. That's what we're calling it, because everything's plus now. That episode's coming out on Thursday. So, you know. What did you think of the first part of that episode? Absolutely. What did you think of the video we put out? Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? I owned it. I've played it. I'm not 100% sure if I've beaten this game. I'm just going to leave that off because I'm not 100%. You liked it? Nice. Nice. Best one right here. Boom. Because it was true. We bring facts and logic. That's all we do. We're calling it plus because the Premiere project needed a name. Accurate. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Haven't beaten this game yet either. That's sad. That's what you've been saying to your blind friends, that like there's problems, right? Like I'm not willing to sit here and be like this. The rest of the internet has said this game is dead, and I'm just really not okay with saying that because it is still really fun. I booted it up before we played, or before we recorded that episode, and I was like, this game's actually pretty awesome. They just got like, they have issues, you know? Here we go. Results time. Boom. Okay. I own 77% of the top 101 games that have not been decided by me. I have played 90% of them, and I've beaten over 50% of them. I feel good about that. I feel quite good about that, actually. Ace, if you're still here, what was your percentage? And if anyone else has done this already, what is your percentage? I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know. Boop. I gotta figure this stupid chat thing out, y'all. It looks so bad. Why is it so bad? What is going on? Hold on. Maybe I can fix it on the fly? That would be cool. That would be cool. A bump. My overlays. There it is. It's a widget, yeah? It is a widget. Let me check these settings. Let's try this out. Okay. Rockin' stewin', brother. That's not it. Global options. Add text shadow to text. What does that do? Ah, I can change it on the fly. Let's see what happens. This will be fun. Hold on, it's still loading. Somebody type something. Tell me a cool joke. Ooh, I know. You know what? Here, this is for Ace. This is for Ace. What did the photon say when asked if she needed to check a bag? No thanks. I'm traveling light. It's a science joke, y'all. It's a science joke. Boom. Good one. Oh, I see. I see. Oh. I have to set the color for all of you guys. Just have the color? Hold on. Yep. I'll do that. I have it. I have it. FCD3. Boom. Ace, on the percentage screen, what was your percentage of games owned, beaten, and played, by the way? If you still have that. If you don't, then... Man, I think I'm gonna have to get back to my very niche talent of plushie making. I think you should. I think you should. Also, by the way, I'm going to... Let me put the owned one. Okay. The text thing might go away. It's gonna come back in a second. I've changed it. It should be better. Or closer to better. It's still not good because it takes forever to update. Text is gone. Oh no. There it is. I fixed it. 46.53% played and 38.61% beaten though. Not bad. Not bad. You hate yourself now. Why? Wow, okay. Apparently there's a lot I can change. Oh. Custom chat bubble shape. Oh, I can say no. The names are blue now. We did it. We did it, Destroyer. I can't figure out a way to make them different based on what you have set them to be, but at least they're not black. So, you know, there's that. Set bubble shape to username color? What? Oh. Oh, wait, what? What are these options? These options make no sense. Enter is none. Saving. I did a thing. Figure out how to change the colors of names you want purple. I can't change your name. I can change all the names. Okay, it didn't do anything. Got it. It's still very delayed is the issue. Like I'm seeing it on actual chat, Oh, there it goes. That's way faster. All you ask is no yellow. Oh, I know why it's doing this. This is one of the problems with the way that chat works. I see. I see. Got it. None. Got it. Okay. Global. Uh-huh. Custom username color, of course. Got it. Okay, this is the best we can do. No yellow is very easy. I'm happy to oblige. No yellow is fine by me. Okay, I made it taller. We're fine there. Got it. Opacity. Yep, yep. That's all I can do, apparently. I'm sure there's like... Yeah, there is some JavaScript for it. I'll deal with that later. I can deal with that later. Boom, boom, boom. I've also got the cool... Here, I'll show you this. This is cool. It's going to do a double alert, but it's still cool looking. You own 90% of the games on the list? Ace. Ace. You have Bubble Tea? Let's go. Bubble Tea is very good. Y'all ready for this alert? This is what would happen if somebody subscribed. Again, ignore the double alert sound, okay? I can't. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I can mute this. Mute the site. Perfect. My brothers and I have a large collection. It's fair. All right, this is what's going to happen on a subscriber event if somebody subscribes. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Now, what does it look like if I'm over here? Now, what if I'm here? Now, what does it look like? Yeah. It takes over that little blue square right below me. I'm very happy with that. Very 80s future retro. That's what I am. That's what I am. Your brothers and I have a large collection, apparently. That game, hold on, this has got like some like very, not obscure, that's the wrong word, but like kinda unique. Did I close it? I did. I'm stupid. Uke.io. You own the Cat Lady? What are the ones you don't own? That's what I want to know is what are the ones you don't own? Also, can we talk about this cool rotating Pac-Man? Like, come on. Like, come on. I don't think I've met a single person who actually owns Cat Lady. I've seen people who have played it. I don't know anybody who owns it, if that makes sense. Boom. The average I think people will have is I'm anticipating people will own less than probably 20% of these games. I think a lot of people will have played a decent portion of these games, probably 60%. I anticipate the amount of people, the percentage beaten will be again around 20%. My gut reaction is maybe 20% owned, maybe 60% played, 50 or 60% played, and then maybe 20% owned. Now get around to adding the quality of life suggestion that I had. What was that one again? Was it the click thing? The thing that Samir mentioned? Because no. We tried to fix that a little bit earlier, and it's going to take a little bit more fixing than I can do on stream, unfortunately. But it still makes sense. Talking about like when you click on beaten, it automatically clicks played. Is that what you mean? Because I still think that's a great idea, but Has anyone else taken this yet while we've been chatting? Checking, yeah. We worked on that a little bit earlier. Here's the code, by the way, in case any of you are curious. Here's the very bad, not optimized at all code. Enjoy. Here's the dialogue. I added this in today. This was fun. Very simple. Do the quiz once you finish? Cool. I'm very curious. I really wish I had figured out, I had set up the actual collection aspect, because I am very, very curious to see which games people have played and not played and all that kind of stuff, you know? I'm actually really interested to see which games people own almost more than anything else at this point, because so many people have moved into like digital only stuff. I'm just very curious, you know? Ooh, no Persona 5 Royal, Day of the Tentacle, Outer Wilds, Monkey Island 2, duh. Indiana Jones, duh. No Super Mario 3, or World 2, so Yoshi's Island, and no Marvel Spider-Man. Interesting. Do you have a PS4? It seems like a no-brainer one, right? I think it is. I'm just, it just seems like it would be. Oh, PS5 now. Interesting. I find that so fascinating, though. You know what I mean? Because like that's the thing where I'm just like, to me, it's almost like if somebody had like a PS4 and then like didn't own God of War. Like God of War to me is the reason that you own a PS4. Or like if you own a Switch and don't own like Zelda or Mario. It's like I'm not gonna judge you if you don't have those, but like it's just curious. It's a curious situation. I find it very interesting. Gotta switch for Hatsune. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Not judging, just very interesting. Just very interesting. Huh. Man. I think somebody mentioned earlier, oh, it was Dylan. Dylan was talking about Last of Us and how it's one of those games that like people kind of obsess over. And it's a little bit, not played is the wrong word. It's not played, but it's just kind of like a little bit of a, hey, please shut up about this game. Like we get it, it's good. But I've been playing it recently, which has been really fun because it's a Naughty Dog game. It's amazing. But the more I'm playing it, so I'm playing on PS3, by the way. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm realizing that like that game is an actual miracle for coming out on the PS3. There's no way that should have ever happened. It can barely keep a steady 30 FPS. It is jumping down to like 15 or 20 below, like a lot in heavy firefights. And it's one of those situations where I'm like, okay, The Last of Us Remastered is clearly the better way to experience this game at the moment, because the original version that I'm playing like right now, there's nothing really necessarily wrong with it, except for that it is just chugging, right? It's just chugging. But it still has got me thinking about the remake that's coming out, and I'm just not sure who it's for at $70. I still get it. Like it's one of the best games that's ever been made. That's totally fine. But like, and honestly, I don't know how people played the original, but they ran it so well. So yeah, I mean, like, it's tough. It's gorgeous, right? It's beautiful. But the PS3 can barely handle it. The PS3 was 7 years old when that game came out. I'm convinced that they had it in the works for like an early PS4 game, and Sony was like, okay, we have nothing for 2013, like literally nothing. What else came out in 2013 actually on the PS3? Yeah. Oh, okay, GTA 5. But again, that's another situation of like it's on both. Like all these games are, they're not, first of all, most of them are not exclusive. God of War Ascension, that one actually runs pretty dang well, so that one makes sense. Interesting. Ratchet and Clank, Into the Nexus, Arkham Origins, Colonial Marines. Sure. Puppeteer is underrated. Puppeteer is amazing. Puppeteer is so good. What else? Beyond Two Souls. Is everyone else like over David Cage? I feel like I'm over David Cage at this point. Like I'm just over him. Not that like he hasn't made good games and like, okay, yeah, like Detroit Become Human. Yeah, we get it. But like, I feel like I'm just over David Cage. I don't know. Wolf Among Us, Tomb Raider. Like these are early PS4 games. These are all just like PS4 games. And the PS3 still was like, no, we have the Cell processor. We're fine. Just make it happen. I'm convinced that Last of Us was initially going to be a PS4 like launch title, and they were like, no, like make it come out on the PS3, please. Kinda, yeah. The first game I've seen of his was Detroit, so I'm not over him, but I can understand why people are. It's not, again, it's tough because like I say that, and somebody somewhere is gonna be like, oh my gosh, David Cage is like the best auteur in video games of all time, which is false because Kojima exists, but close. And I'm not, like, again, I don't dislike his games, but I'm just kind of like, it's almost like the Telltale thing, right? Where like the Telltale games have come out and like they're good. There's nothing wrong with them necessarily, but like there was no innovation. It's just like it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Just fine, but like at the very like even games that actually get accused of doing the same thing over and over and over again are actually trying to do some kind of innovation every once in a while, right? Like Mario games are pretty different, not terribly different, but like kind of different between the different games that are trying to do new stuff. I just never felt like anything that David Cage came out with was like drastically different than the previous game. I liked Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, but it's kind of like everything he does is expected. Exactly. It's just fine. There's nothing wrong with it, again, but it's kind of like you've played one, you've played them all. It's kind of like Pokemon up until Sun and Moon, right? Like Pokemon up until Sun and Moon was essentially the exact same game every year, and you know, kind of up until Sword and Shield. Arceus has really changed that formula for the better, I hope. We will see. I have such a love-hate relationship with Pokemon. It's absurd. It's absurd. I think that game is like brilliant. But I don't know. Again, it's somebody's gonna be like, how dare you, Pokemon's my favorite franchise. I'm like, that's fine, you do you. I own like all of them. I own them all. I've played, they're the same. Like I played them all. They're the same. It's fine. No shame. Why am I like off center? What's happening? Okay. Sure, whatever. Is there any game that people are excited about right now? And I have a few. I can understand why people like Pokemon, but if you don't recognize that most of the main lines are the same game, you are stupid. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, it's the Assassin's Creed issue, right? It's the same game every time. Like I don't care that you like the game. I made this comparison with my wife the other day. Dylan, you didn't have to say that. I appreciate you saying that. You didn't need to say that. I knew that. I did know that, and that's that's a given. Yep. Destiny 2 Electric Boogaloo. We get it. You don't need to. We know. It's got Destiny 2 in front of it. We know. We're aware. Samir, you're excited about the new Saints Row? For real? I don't think I've talked to a single person who's actually like really interested in that game. I think that there are people who are intrigued by it, but I haven't talked to a single person who's like, oh yeah, baby. Saints Row, let's go. Tell me about it. Tell me why. Speak to me. Speak to me. The one I'm obviously really into because weird card game boy over here. A Midnight Suns. I thank you. And also whenever they decide to release that that boot camp, the Advanced Wars 1 and 2 boot camp game. Because they, yeah. Putin did his cool trick and ruined it for everyone else. For a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons. Hard Saints Row fan. Looks like they were going back to the Saints Row 3 formula. Saints Row 4 was fun, but they gave you all the new toys way too early. Wasn't that what people were complaining about though in Saints Row 3? Was that they like held back too much? They just wanted to do silly stuff? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's funny because my impression is not that they're going back to Saints Row 3. My impression is they're going back to Saints Row like 2 or almost 1 even. Looks way more gritty. Well, everything is paced beautifully compared to Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 was a cluster. The little I played of Saints Row 4 was exactly what you've described, which is, hey, do whatever you want. Go. Go, 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 go. Even better, slightly more grounded. Saints Row 4 was fun, but was utter chaos. That's true. That is accurate. That is accurate. I want to talk real quick about some of the stuff that like I've been working on and we'll continue to be working on as we go. I'm very optimistic with what they have shown. Well, that's good. The more I watch of this stinking Gotham Knights game, the more I'm like, uh-oh. I don't know. Same. Listen, if it gets cheap, I'm sure you and I will play it, Samir. I'm sure you and I will play it. I want to talk about some things that I'm going to be working on, I have been working on, and will be working on coming forward. So, let's hop into that. I'll see what it looks like at release, though. Yeah, maybe it's amazing, and they're not showing it well. It wouldn't be the first Ubisoft game to actually, or Eidos Montreal game to actually be really, 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 really good, but or Warner Brothers Montreal, WB Montreal, that they were like, actually, this game's really good, but you wouldn't know it because we didn't show you. I've mentioned this on the test stream that I did last Monday, and I mentioned it on several places, just kind of explaining. You know, people were asking like, "Hey, why are you leaving? Why are you going to YouTube? All that kind of stuff." And one of the things is, kind of the big thing for me is I'm trying to shift my content away from my content specifically being streaming content to having the streaming content be a supplement to the other content that I'm making. As for instance, I've mentioned several times like the different video ideas that I have. So just keep an eye out for more video stuff. I feel like a lot of the stuff I want to talk about is more easily summed up in like a 10 to 15 minute video rather than me trying to explain it over the course of like several 3-hour streams. People are jumping in and out and losing context of exactly what I'm talking about. I'm having to repeat myself, and that's just, it was kind of exhausting. And so I really want to focus on short to longer form content here on YouTube more consistently. So keep an eye out for that. This stream will continue. Obviously, this isn't me saying like I'm not streaming anymore. Stream will continue. It's just gonna be a lot less beat the whole game stuff. The stuff I've been doing for the past couple of years has been, I pick a game, we start the game, I beat through the entire game. I'm done. I move on to the next game. That's great, and I like that. But the reality is, I do that offline anyway. So doing that online all the time is just kind of repetitive. It kind of came to a head when I beat Blue Dragon. I know that's a shock that game really took it out of me, but Blue Dragon was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, for lack of a better term. And yeah, I think that's when I realized, like, I'm not sure I want to do this kind of stuff anymore or long term, because it's getting just a lot. So I will still be playing through games on here, and sometimes I'll be trying to play through games consistently. Like sometimes we will beat the entire game on stream together, but the goal is for that won't be the norm, if that makes sense. It's normally going to be me bouncing through a couple games. Like I'll pick a game that either I'm playing, in offline, or hey, I have this idea for this thing. I want to play this with you guys because I've got 6 hours of dedicated time every week to play through games and stuff, and y'all offer some pretty interesting insights. We can talk about weird stuff, like, hey, why is the pinball so good? Expect a lot more pinball content, by the way. That's just reality. I can't help you if you don't like pinball content. There's going to be a lot of it. I love it so much. It's so much fun. I haven't had an opportunity to play pinball, so more pinball is good. Good, yes. We're also going to be talking about like other non-content stuff sometimes. I kind of want to get y'all's opinions on things, and I kind of want to sometimes just walk through like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about this thing that has happened. Not necessarily like a reaction thing, but if there's some pretty big news in like the video game world, like that analog, this thing, the Open FPGA stuff. Let me find it. Yeah, this Open FPGA stuff, this is huge. Like, this is absolutely huge, and I feel like a lot of people just aren't aware of this and what it means. This is Analog, who's like one of my favorite, like, boutique gaming companies out there. This is them actually saying like, hey, we are taking what we have been doing and we're going to help preserve gaming going forward, because this is incredibly important to me specifically. The whole thing about video game preservation, we're kind of still in the wild west of video games being a medium. They're still relatively young, all things considered, and we're kind of at a precipice now where a lot of games are just going to stop existing. And I don't necessarily even mean like online stuff, that's been going on for decades. I mean like actual physical things are rotting away, like CDs, DVDs, SRAM chips in cartridges are starting to lose their actual like they're becoming more and more volatile. So in my past flash games I used to play, flash games are another great example of they're just gone. Well, you can still find them in some capacity, but like the initial version of them on like Newgrounds, gone. Some of that I'm okay with losing, some of it I'm not. But as a medium, we need to be really careful about preserving as much as we can, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's a lot of movies, like when movies were becoming the big medium, there's a lot of movies that are just gone. Like a lot of movies just disappeared or were destroyed, or the film was used by like a different, like they just erased the film and then did it again because they're like, who cares? No one's gonna want to watch this movie. There's like thousands of movies that were just destroyed because they didn't bother to preserve them. They're like, who's gonna care about watching this movie in the future? Or just burn it. Literally, it's absurd. Like go find some articles and stuff on YouTube about it. It blows my mind. And we're kind of at that point with video games. And because we're such a young medium, because video games are such a young medium, we need to be making every effort that we can to actually preserve them as close to original as we possibly can. That's why I'm such a big proponent of, this kind of stuff, of this whole video game preservation movement, right? And the reason this is so cool, this open FPGA thing is so cool, is because Analog are one of a couple like pioneering FPGA not manufacturers. They're buying them from other places, but they're using FPGAs specifically for retro gaming content. If you don't know what an FPGA is, it stands for Field Programmable Gate Array. I'm going to get really nerdy for just 1 second. Okay. Field Programmable Gate Arrays are essentially chips that you can tell them what to be. And what that means is you can essentially boot up software that reconfigures the hardware or tells the hardware how to act, including, hey, FPGA, here's the entire like circuitry and like schematic for an NES. Interface with the software that's coming in this way. So, when you hear the term emulation in gaming world, sometimes people look at that as like a bad thing, but the reality is emulation is what actually helps, preserve our gaming history, right? Really? Yeah, no, Dylan, for sure. That's exactly how it works. Like, not joking. It's so cool. And we've only recently have they actually become more affordable to be able to be sold in, this kind of capacity. So, what you'll see is there's the other large group or the large retro enthusiast version of this is the MiSTer project. And it is so dry in here. The MiSTer project essentially lets somebody build their own little teeny stack of an FPGA with other like components to make an all-in-one FPGA retro game solution. And the way that it works is you can upload, they call them cores. I don't know what the actual specific term is. They're essentially just software that the FPGA accepts, and then it kind of reconfigures or sets up all of its its gate arrays in such a way that it emulates on a hardware level the original hardware. So we're not talking about software emulation, which is I write a program that interfaces with a ROM to play the game as close as it can. We're talking about hardware emulation, which is I write some code, I write some software to tell the hardware how to interface with the software. Makes sense? So it's slightly different, but what we're seeing is more and more, it's so unbelievably accurate that we're actually able to preserve games that otherwise would be completely lost. So back to this. This is a big deal because this Analog Pocket that is made by Analog, by the way, it's the Analog Pocket, they're now opening it up to let anybody essentially write cores to help preserve video games. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to do that from a legal perspective, because there is it kind of exists in a gray area currently. Technically it is legal, but it's kind of on the edge of being illegal. It is legal to emulate, so we're clear. There's some quirks with how, but all that to say, the real cool thing about this is they have released a core that emulates on a hardware level the oscilloscope that they used to play Space War, one of the first video games that ever existed. So one of the first video games that ever existed was this game called Space War. You can see it here. This was the beginning of games. They have released a core. You can download. I could go right now and download this game and play it on my Analog Pocket that's in that closet. So that's really what the whole point of this thing is, right? This is such a cool thing. And like, so this is the kind of stuff I want to talk about on stream, because otherwise, like, this is hard to talk about other places, but like, this blows my mind. I read this whole thing. I was like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Like, there are some other, places that picked this up. I was like, yeah, this is really cool, but like, this is beyond cool. This is amazing. And more importantly, it's really, 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 really crucial for us as gamers and people who enjoy gaming to really, really, like, we should all be like, this is the way, this is good. We want more of this, right? So it's honestly really, it's so cool, Ace. It's the coolest thing, because like, this has not existed for the vast majority of other mediums. Like, think about how many books have been like just lost. They're just gone. Like, you will never have those books again. Or music. In the entire history of music, how much music is just gone. We have an opportunity right now to say, we're gonna minimize that for video games. So cool. I own 28.71. Love it. Love it, Samir. Played 35.64. Okay. Probably just need to round these up into simpler percentages. Beaten, essentially 17%. Nice. Did you do this on phone, by the way? Because if you did it on phone, I apologize. It is not mobile optimized right now. It is not mobile optimized. Very sorry about that. By the way, if you guys want to check, you can go here and then inspect. Not mobile optimized. It actually looks better than it does on my the stream close. Okay, good. That's how I debug stuff, by the way. Like, sometimes I want to play Sims 2, but without people helping preserve it, I wouldn't be able to play it now without having to hunt down discs for it. Exactly right. Yes. And what's crazy about that though, Ace, is that, like, again, that's an example of like, that performs best on very specific hardware and specific software, right? So, Windows XP is going to be like the best experience for something like Sims 2. How many people have space to have a whole Windows XP computer just sitting around? Not even me. And like, I want to be able to have, like, an old Windows XP PC available to just, like, hook up that gigantic keyboard to, and just, mess around with Doom 3 and, like, it's all 4x3 glory like I did back in 2005. But like, I can't. All of the versions that exist now are widescreen, probably for the best, but like, I have to finagle with it to actually get it to run the way that it initially ran, right? Stats were higher than you were expecting. That's pretty good, Samir, honestly. Like, look, again, I'm betting most people own 15, maybe 20%, and have played half, maybe. And I'm pretty convinced most people have beaten like 10, 15% of the games on that list. So that is impressive. That is impressive. Beating half the games I've played makes me feel better. It should. No, it should. But yeah, I mean, again, you can see, like, look, this is the game playing. This is Space War playing on an actual analog pocket. I mean, this isn't an actual analog pocket, but like, this is how it works. It's emulating it on a hardware level. Like, the FPGA in this device is being rewritten to play one of the first video games by people who are interested in preserving the history of video games. It's so stinking cool. This right here, look. Analog is dedicated to creating passionately focused reimaginings of video game hardware throughout history. Are you kidding me? This is so stinking cool that they would do this. We still feel like we're just getting started. For the first time, we're opening up our hardware to third-party developers. Huge. Develop, play, explore, help preserve the medium of video game history with the pinnacle of hardware preservation technology, the FPGA. Fully agree. Still waiting. How have you not received that yet? So you got the case, yeah? But not the rest of it? Still just waiting for them to actually send it? Because that's absurd. Yeah, like look at this. That's what it is. It's just an Intel or an Altera Cyclone. They sent you an empty box. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Limited analog developer kits. Ooh. While every analog pocket can be used as a development platform, we created a limited number of analog developer kits for power user developers. Analog developer kits will begin being sent out to select developers soon. That's so stinking cool. It's just so stinking cool. Like this is, I'm worried people don't understand how amazing this is, you know? And I can't emphasize enough how thrilled I am that one of the premier developers or FPGA users is making it available for anyone to just use. It's so stinking cool. Hey, Cat Paw. Chewed out customer support for like 2 months before they caved. Send me a replacement until whenever they get more deals. You're never gonna get that thing, Samir. You're never gonna get that thing. I have very little hope. I'm very sad. Yeah, you're gonna get that like, what year is it's 2022? You're gonna get that in like 2026. I'm sorry to say. If you get it at all. Cat, what do you think about the cool new digs? The cool colors here and colors here, and how cool, eh? I did the A just for you. Also, like, y'all should just read this article. Like this thing is so stinking cool. Here, I'm gonna post it. Y'all enjoy. This thing is so stinking cool. Looking fancy? Why, thank you. The video game history stuff, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but like, this is like, not, passion's the wrong word, because that sounds like it's something that I'm like, I actively participate in all the dang time, and I don't. But I am like a big advocate for two things. Number one, games are art. Like, that's just pure full stop. The fact that people still have to argue about that drives me crazy. But games are art, and also we need to preserve games as close to their original intended version as possible. And so this kind of stuff just like really I love it. Like, the history of gaming stuff is so cool. There was a whole documentary series on Netflix a while ago. I think it was called High Score. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So good. So good. They talk about, like, you know, they cover the basics of like, hey, you know, like Nintendo existed and Atari existed, and you know, Atari kind of screwed stuff up for a couple years. Then Nintendo came in and saved it, and all that fun stuff. Then there was the whole, you know, the console wars, and Sega started actually competing. You know, casual gaming history, but they get even more deep, and they actually jump in and like, they're like, oh, and by the way, did you know that the Fairchild Channel F was the first video game system to actually use interchangeable cartridges in a way that actually, you know, changed the game dramatically, not the garbage way that the Odyssey or the Odyssey 2 did, because those things were nothing, actually nothing. You used static overlays on your television, because televisions used to be really staticky, for all you Zoomers out there who don't know that, you know, CRTs used to have like the craziest amount of static of all time. And so you would take a this is the Magnavox Odyssey, by the way, the first, commercially available video game system. You would take a literal freaking like static cling and put it onto your television, and then you'd put like a little disc like chip into the system and play games with the overlay, because all it could render was like a square. It could render various squares, like 4 of them. 4 squares, that's all you got back in like 73. Anyway, so it gets into that kind of stuff. But then again, hey, the Fairchild Channel F created, used the first interchangeable cartridges. Hey, did you know that the person who created those gets left out of the history a lot because they were African American and people didn't really want to talk about it. But hey, they did this. Oh, hey, did you know that they used to have these video game tournaments, and they became kind of a place where people actually, learned how to be who they truly were. And it's just so cool. Multiple times I like teared up during. I was like, this is my game. It's so good. Anyway, you should go watch it. It's very good. What's it called again? High Score? Hold on. High Score? Yep. High Score on Netflix. Yeah, it's me. Y'all should watch this. It's quite good. It's quite good. Anyway. Back to it. So, enjoy this man's butt. Yeah, so again, Space Force impact on video games. Like, this is... They made this game playable. They made this game playable. I don't know. Maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion. If you're interested in video game and TV voiceover, I know that voice. It's a pretty good documentary too. Got it. I track it. I'm tracking. That's more Dylan's realm. Dylan is the voiceover king. Dylan is the voiceover king. I don't know voice actors that well, but Dylan, multiple times we've been hanging out, and Dylan's like, "Oh, that's so and so." Like, I've got a couple. Like, I can probably point out Nolan North, or like Troy Baker, or maybe even like Yuri Lowenthal, but that's about it. Dylan's like, "Oh yeah, this is this person. I know them. They're this, and they did this and this." That's like Dylan's superpower, if you don't know, by the way. Dylan, we need to play a game like that, actually. That sounds pretty funny. But pretty fun. Not funny, just fun. I can point out the JoJo voice actors? Okay. I like that too. That's very good. I couldn't even do that. Oh yeah, you'd absolutely, Dylan, you would absolutely destroy me in that game. But it'd be super, super fun. When you see Orion coming around for the second time, you know you've been playing too long. That's so funny. One of the other first like big video games that was like widely available to see. Actually, it wasn't even widely available. It was in a couple of like science expos. But it's what's it called? Oh gosh. Tennis for Two. Tennis for Two. Tennis for Two is hysterical because Tennis for Two is just like normal tennis. Uh-oh. Viewers will experience buffering. Come on. Hold on. Go back to me. Let me... I bet I know why. Auto run. You did? Cool. It says that my performance is poor, and I don't like that. I don't like it. Oh my lord, it's terrible. What's going on? Back to normal. Thanks, Xfinity. Hey guys, by the way, did you know that Xfinity has a data cap? In 2022, I still get to deal with freaking data caps by an ISP. Furious about that, by the way. Furious about that. Thanks, Xfinity, then instant buffering. Did anyone else know that they have a data cap? Because I found it out. I found it. You know what it is? 1.2 terabytes. Oh, good. We're back down to oh, good. Open that widget. Show me. Oh, good. Gotta hack this bad boy. I'm in. Show me that upload speed, baby. Nope. Not great. I can get unlimited? I sure could. You were going to type that it didn't buffer, but then it started buffering? Of course it did. The problem, Tanner, is that nowhere in any contract anywhere did it say anything about there being a data limit until I reached the data limit. They advertise unlimited all over the place. And it apparently now says unlimited asterisk. Unlimited means more than most people would actually use. Not me. Not me. Ugh. Looks like it's fine now. It might be fine. All that to say is there's a fiber company. They literally laid the lines like 2 weeks ago. More than the average user, aka a boomer, would use. So nothing. Great, cool. Minimum acceptable standard, by the way, currently in the US for infrastructure is, I think, 30 megabits down, which is garbage. Like, I know that's like your absolute dream, Samir, is 30 megabit down, but like that is like not acceptable. In my opinion, it's just ridiculous. The fact that we haven't said like 100 is where we should be aiming for at this point drives me crazy. Ugh. It's so bad. It's the only internet service. Well, it's not. I take it back. It's one of a few internet services that I've actually used that just like, it's just gonna stop. And we're just gonna stop right now. At least a couple times, once or twice every month or so, we'll commit crimes for 30. Hey, you can join Congress. That'll work. Boom! Got him! What was I saying? I was saying something about internet. Hold on. What was it? Oh, minimum viable should be in the US based on our infrastructure, our internet infrastructure currently, what we've paid for it, number one, and what it should be is minimum 100. We should be able to have minimum 100 down and minimum 50 up. I am currently paying for 1.2 down, gig down, 1.2 gig down, 25 up. Yeesh. Frontier internet? I don't even know what that means. Like the internet you would get on like the Frontier? Is that what that means? That sounds bad. But good news. Gig fiber was laid in front of my house 2 weeks ago. Last week I was on vacation. I called them this morning. Unfortunately, they can't do anything until they actually finish the entire neighborhood, I guess. So, just a company type. It's run by Verizon, surprisingly. It's optic fiber. Oh, yeah. So the good fiber. Wait. That's just fiber. All fiber is optic fiber. Fiber optics. I guess it's not technically true, but you get my point. Anyway, I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit here. Let me tell you what I'm paying per month for this 1.2 gig down, 25 up garbage. And it's freaking out again. We'll see. Might have to end stream early, guys. Sorry. We'll see. Let me get through what I'm actually paying for, and then I'll see how it seems to be stabilizing. Maybe we're fine. Anyway, with the special introductory offer, the introduction offer that ends in 10 days for me, by the way. The special offer for 1.2 gig down, 25 up. No phone, no TV, no... Yours is not buffering? Thank you, Catball. I didn't even rent any equipment from them. Like, I have all of my own equipment. I bought the modem that we're using. I have my own router set up. Like, it's all mine. Even with all that, we pay $111 per month for that. When the special introductory offer ends, that will go up to $130. Okay. With the new company that is gig up and gig down, symmetrical fiber internet. Just the internet. No TV, no telephone, just the internet. Not me renting any of their garbage. Their special introductory offer is $60. $60. That's why they give you a data cap too with my, yeah. They give me a data cap on my own equipment because they were going to charge me $10 a month to rent their garbage modem. Their garbage modem that I saw, by the way, the modem that they were going to rent to me didn't even give me the full speed that I'm paying for. Like, how can anybody argue against net neutrality? I can't. Ugh. Yeah, 2 gig up and down for 70. Yeah. 2 gig up and down for 70 is like probably what it should cost. And because I worked in a telco for many years, I can tell you that's closer to what it should cost. Even with all the fancy tech of like fiber, because fiber is more expensive. Even with all that fancy tech, 70 for 2 gig up and down? They give you the modem rent free for 2 years? Well, that's good. That's good at least. I just paid for mine outright because I did the math and it paid for itself already. It's literally already paid for itself. It hurts my brain. 2 gig up and down sounds fake. There's a spot in, they gave you YouTube Premium? Now that's a deal. That's a deal. Samir, there's a spot in, not Greensboro, in North Carolina. There's a city called Salisbury. It is a bumpkin town. It's not really a bumpkin town. That's rude. They're not a big town. They're small. They have 10 gig symmetrical residential for I think 120. It's ridiculous. You got a spare Xfinity modem if I want one? If I can office space it, sure. If I can take it out back and just office space it, then fine. I hate those things. Anyway. They give you YouTube Premium? That's such a deal. Ace. Man. Oh, hey. I wanted to show everyone who's new here. By new here, I mean like who wasn't here when I showed it initially. Go for it. String. This, by the way, I want to show off my cool alerts, and I'm not going to because, like, you know, people have to subscribe for that. So here's what a subscription would look like. Not real, but still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. Just, I wanted to show that off. I'm proud of it. It's kind of stable right now. I'm wondering if my wife is also streaming. She's probably watching a K-drama as we speak. Well, and there it goes. My connection's going in and out still. I think it still looks like it's fine for you guys. I think I'm actually just going to in-stream, actually, which is very unfortunate. They shipped it to the wrong place, so I went to the store to get one, and then they found the one they shipped on your neighbor's stoop. Oh, good Lord, Tanner. Are you kidding me? I can't stand Xfinity, y'all. I can't stand Xfinity. Like, if there were... The only other company I would not use before I wouldn't use, like, if there were two companies left on the planet, right? If there was Xfinity and AT&T, I would use Xfinity forever. If the only internet company left was AT&T, I wouldn't be on the internet. That's how strongly I feel about not using AT&T. I hate AT&T so much. Terrible, horrible, not here for it. Not here for it. UPS's fault? No. Well, okay. That's fair. I agree with the hate of AT&T. They're so bad. They're so bad. I'll tell you all what. I actually am going to in-stream. I'm seeing some jittering in the connection over on my side. Hopefully soon I will be able to get fiber internet and this will never be a problem again. But I will see everyone on Wednesday for more fun stuff. I appreciate y'all hanging out. If you have not already, please, 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 please like this stream. It actually does help. I couldn't tell you why, but it actually does a lot. Tell your friends, tell people, you know, we're hanging out. We're doing cool stuff here. Got some stuff. Remember when they were still Alltel? Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Alltel. Let's go. Anyway, tell all your friends. Hang out, be cool, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. I'm actually gonna play a game on Wednesday. It's gonna be pretty cool. But anyway, I will see y'all later. So bye.